got Cutdown Day tomorrow, or roster reduction, whatever you want to call it. I always kind of go back and forth on that. I know there's some names out there already. Some of the names I think right now that we haven't seen, my experience is we've always tried to trade those guys, see if there's any interest. Maybe there's some roster gymnastics they can do. There's a lot more creativity now with when you look at vested veterans and what you can do and how, you can cut them and bring them back and all those things. So those guys over there always kind of figure those things out. They're pretty good at doing that. I was going to, in the crosstalk, what'd you guys think of Trey Lance, though, the other day? With the way his game and how it played out.
Well, I thought once again he can be really exciting and productive, but the decision making, I was surprised how many of those picks were just like thrown right to a guy, and I just wondered is he seeing things right?
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that he is. Even when he completes a pass, sometimes you're like, how late were you on that thing? That was a 10-yard play that could have been a 25-yard play had you just gotten rid of the ball quicker because the guy's been open this whole time.
Yeah, I think the thing with Trey is that he always doesn't see the field particularly well. And I think when he has to, the longer he holds the ball, the harder it is for him to make that throw or to see where he needs to throw that ball. I do believe just watching him play, I think there's a lot of talent there. No question about it. I think his throwing motion, they're probably going to need to work on that. It seems to be a little long at times. Maybe the ball comes out of his hands a little later. They could tighten him up a little bit. I think they're going to work on that. Try and get him to be a little bit, a little bit more with a tighter throwing motion to make that, maybe get the ball out of his hand a little quicker. I do believe he has a problem with grip strength because I watch him pat the ball and it's like they're trying to reset. He's trying to reset it in his hand, and that caused him to be late on some of his stuff. So I mentioned the interception he threw on that sprint right option. That's a 1-2 throw play. That's not a 1-2 pat the ball then throw. Mm-hmm. That's not a situation. The last interception he had of the game, to try and fit that ball in the seam. If he's got a grip on the ball, he's going to probably throw that ball. He's going to have to throw it over the top of a linebacker. It's going to be a close play, maybe a bang play for the game-winning touchdown. Ball comes completely out of his hand. I thought, man, somebody tipped that ball. Nah, pressure from the back, but he's stepping in, he's throwing it, ball handed, and it just helicopters out of his hand.
Yeah.
I think there's some things that, you said his hands were 9 1/4.
Yeah.
There's some things, maybe sweaty ball, sweaty hand, whatever you have to do.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Unfortunate.
But there were a couple, like I say,
there's things to help you with that.
Yeah, the reads are not where they need to be all the time.
I mean, he's got happy feet and a clean pocket. If his first read's not there, all of a sudden you're like,
the longer.
But he's got no attempts. He's got no experience. He's got like 500 attempts since high school.
No question.
Like, he's super green. He needs all the attempts in the world. And
I agree. I totally agree with him because I totally agree with what you're saying because me personally, I ain't giving up on that guy. I think there's ways that you can win games with this guy. I do. And I feel we all remember Tony Romo in 2004 was talking with Todd Archer about this. Made a great point. 2004 Tony Romo, how about some of the crazy ass passes he threw? We were all like going, whoa, what the hell's going on here?
Danucci-esque.
Yeah. I think there's ways to work with guys like this and be much better at it than what we've seen.
And he's enough of a runner to buy himself some time to develop some of these other things for sure. Yeah. I mean, he's younger than Michael Penix. He's younger than Bo Nix. He's younger than Will Levis.
Yeah.
So, but it's going to take time for sure.
53-man roster. I tried at it. I sent this thing off, got back. I was pretty close. So I'm going to give it to you anyway.
What makes you feel good? If you're 50 for 53, are you like, hey, job well done?
Nah. If I'm 1 or 2 off, feed me the 51, 52. I'll feel a lot better. If I missed a player just because I missed a player that I didn't see, but this is my projection. Maybe I should have done one where like, I think this is what they would have done, but this is what I would have done. And I submitted this for approval.
I like that.
And so I got back, you're okay. You're close. So we'll see. We'll see how close. 6 wide receivers. I did it in alphabetical order for everybody. I do it for myself in alphabetical order so I know the players.
Well, now that you know for sure the alphabet, after we told you how many letters were in it a couple years ago.
27, how many we got there?
Yeah, something like that.
6 wide receivers. Brooks, Cooks, Flournoy, Lamb, Tolbert, Turpin. 6 wide receivers.
All right. So you're going a little long there.
Going a little long. I kept three tight ends. Ferguson, Stevens. Well, actually, if I would do alphabetical order, Ferguson, Schoonmaker, Stevens.
There you go.
If I had to rank them in order, I would say Ferguson, Stevens, Schoonmaker is how I'd rank them.
Not looking good for the former second rounder.
Went 3 offensive tackles. Went Guyton, Richards, Steele. Went 4 guards. Ball, Bass, Martin, Tyler Smith. So 3 tackles, Guyton, Richards, Steele. 4 guards, Ball, Bass, Martin, Tyler Smith.
Tyler Smith, your 4th offensive tackle in that scenario.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Adoga comes back.
Or when Adoga comes
yeah.
back. I think Adoga's going to go on that list, like him and Bland. I don't include him on this list.
Right.
Yeah. BB and Hoffman, the center. By the way, Hoffman might have got outplayed a little bit in that game by Shipley, in that
Chargers guy.
in the Chargers game. He might have got outplayed a little bit by.
Thank God for BB, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine they don't trade up or trade down in the first round to get that extra pick to nab BB? This offensive line would be even scarier coming in.
3 quarterbacks: Lance, Prescott, Rush. Again, alphabetical order. 3 running backs. This is where I could be wrong. I went Dowdle, Elliott, Vaughn here. I don't have Davis on this team.
I would have done the same thing. I mean, I know that's a special teams nightmare without Malik Davis potentially, but I'm with you.
I'm going to make up for that when I get to my defense.
Cool.
I'm going to find you a special teams guy that's going to play better than what you're going to get with Malik Davis.
But with Zeke and Vaughn, we have 2 guys that we're not sure are going to produce over 3.5 an attempt in this offense.
Yeah,
maybe not even 3. This could get ugly.
Well, that's right now.
I like what I saw from Deucey Deuce. I'm excited to see what he can add. I think Deuce has got a different running style now. I think he's like, okay, get 3 yards and just don't dance around, just attack. I think Deuce is much better than that. But to be fair, this is potentially the worst running back room in the league.
Potentially it is, but we'll see what happens with the cuts.
You guys are confident those are the best 3? No favoritism for Elliott?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
That's
Elliott. They didn't expose Elliott at all. I mean, we couldn't evaluate Elliott because of camp. I mean, you watch practice, he takes a rep, and then he's out for 3 or 4 reps. Then he's maybe back in. But, yeah, they didn't expose him at all.
Pathetic.
Hunter Lipke, fullback. So that gives me 25 on the offensive side of the ball. Defense, I went 5 edges. I went Golston, Nealon, Lawrence, Lawson, Parsons. Okay, I'm going to say this about Lawson, that to me, I'm a little bit, I think there needs to be some rust knocked off there. I think there were a couple of them where he was a couple of rushes where he was able to grab an edge, grab a corner. Felt like watching it from the TV, or not from the TV, from the booth. Felt like that there's like, man, this guy's got to do a little bit better there. Then you watch the tape, and there actually was a couple of rushes where he looked like, okay, this might have a chance. I think he's got some rust to him. But again, Golston, Nealon, Lawrence, Lawson, Parsons. I put Parsons as an edge. Defensive tackles, I went Joseph, Osa Odigizua, Phillips, and Mozzie Smith as my 4 defensive tackles here, is what I did. Now,
is Mozzie the 4th best defensive tackle on the team?
Yes.
Right now he is, yeah.
They didn't play him
Yeah.
on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I guess that's just because they're like, we can't afford him to get hurt because we have so little bodies here. But, man, that's a guy who needed all the reps too.
Yeah. Phillips is going to be your backup 3. And then Joseph, Mozzie are going to be the ones, I think, is what's going to happen there. Linebackers, I went 5. Went Clark, Buddy Johnson in a surprising. You okay over there, Eric?
I'm doing all right.
Spitting up over there? What's going on?
Phlegm. I got a little phlegm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want to make sure you're okay.
I'm okay. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm doing all right.
If there's something we could do to help you, let us know. Water or anything? All right, we're good?
Some tea?
Yeah,
okay.
Maybe some tea.
Yeah. Tacos,
whatever you got back there.
Tacos, pizza.
You got a cheeseburger over there?
Yeah. I'm just making sure you're okay. I was worried about you. You just kind of went down there.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm hacking up a little bit. It's been bad.
Gotcha. Clark, Buddy Johnson. How about that one, boys?
Hey, he's shown up. Good for him.
Buddy Johnson can cover some ground, really run. Good tackler.
Can avoid some blocks.
Yep. Got some size to him.
He can whoop a lot of ass.
Kendricks, Leofau, Overshown. Brad Sham keeps telling me, he's like, Brian, something's not really right about Overshown and that hip. So keep an eye on that going into the Cleveland week. How healthy is really overshown. Might have to go a little long at linebacker. I might be wrong about that spot. They might carry a sixth guy, but I'm going to go with the 5 to make it work right now.
So we're thinking maybe Overshown not ready to go?
There's a chance.
Maybe with that hit pointer. I know Brad was saying that the other night.
Brad was very adamant about that in the pregame show and the postgame show. And I don't think Brad Sham just throws stuff up against the wall to hope it sticks.
But if we have another injury to Overshown, I don't know.
Well, he's got a hit pointer right now, and I think he'll be okay. But right now, he's dealing with a little soreness there. Quarterbacks: Booth, Carson, Diggs, Lewis, McQuamu. I went 5. Don't think they're going to carry any more with that. But they said they're not going to look outside. I believe them on that. I think they're probably feeling pretty good about the guys they got. Safeties. This is where I went a little different. I went Bell, Hooker, Thomas, Wilson. I added Wood, the rookie from East Carolina. That is going to be my special teams guy for Davis as the running back.
There you go.
That's how I'm going to figure out. I'm going to go with the extra safety. It probably could go with the extra linebacker there, but
Wood's earned it.
Wood has earned it. So I'm going to go with him as my special teams guy and my 5th safety. They've got 4 good ones right there, so we'll see how that all plays out. Specialist: Anger, Aubrey, Goodwin, the corner. I put him as a specialist, and then Sieg, the center. That's 28, so that gives me my 53 players. So the last players I felt like were Flournoy, Vaughn, Buddy Johnson, and Wood. Davis being off on my list. We'll see if that plays out. That's tomorrow at 3 o'clock.